Hi everybody, welcome to Livewire Review. Today I have another review on an EV charger or an EVSE. We have the 40 amp portable EV charger from Lectron. So it's another company that's reached out to me to check out some of their products and see what I think of them. So I'm going to be doing a review on this product today. So let's take a look at just some of the features that they have on the box before we open it up. It is a Tesla compatible one. You can get J1772 as well as Tesla adapters. It's a level 2. It's up to 40 amps fast charging for level 2 fast charging. And it's IP65 water and dust proof, so it's safe for indoor and outdoor use. The only thing I don't like on the front here is that it's 16-foot cable. Now that is useful in most cases, but I have come across 2 cases in my own personal life where that has been a little bit too short. Well, let's open up this box and see what's inside. Got a nice carry case in here. It's a nice hard case. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, let's take a look inside. Well, we've got your instructions. Pretty straightforward. This is not a Wi-Fi enabled unit. This is just a plug and play unit, so there won't be a lot to talk about when it comes to features that way. We can see what is just here now. So now that I got this out of the box, there's one thing I really need to point out that is going to make the basis for this review. There is a lot of EVSEs that you can get off Amazon and other websites, and they do have safety protection built into them and things like that. But they don't come with UL and CSA certification. This is the #1 thing I'm going to point out here. This meets CSA standard C22.2, number 280, and it also meets UL standards, UL 2594 and UL 2231. Now UL is the Underwriters Laboratory and CSA is the Canadian standards for safety when it comes to electrical equipment. Now this is really important because when you have a UL or CSA listed device, it means that it should be good to go with your home insurance company. So here in Ontario, you do need to have a permit to have an electrical outlet for your electric vehicle so that you can charge your car. Now to go with that, your insurance company would like to see equipment that is UL and CSA certified. So this I can highly recommend because this actually meets both and it's going to be safe to use in your home. I'm going to take this outside now and get it hooked up in the garage and I'll give you my opinion out there. Okay, we're out in the garage now and I have this thing mounted up on the wall. It's out of the box and I've taken off these 3 covers for the wire. So if you need to wrap it up in the box, these things will come in handy. I'm just going to throw those aside for now. So we're going to take a look at the cable and the setup over here. So when we take a look at the box itself does not have screw holes in the back of it, or at least those hanging holes. So that means you do need to use the holder that they have given you with the charger. Now it fits in here nice and snug. It snaps in both sides. It can be mounted up and down. It can be mounted sideways. But you do need to use the holder with this one. Otherwise, it's just going to hang from the cord, and that's perfectly fine because it is a portable charger after all. It's not meant for permanent installation, although being UL and CSA certified, you can use it as a permanent charger for your home. It comes with a 16-foot cord. I will point out that the cord is actually a lot smaller and thinner, which I do like. Some of these bigger, bulkier cords like you see here on the juice box, they're a little bit too stiff in the winter and a little too big and bulky to move around things. This cable is nice and soft and easy to move, and I really like that about it. Now it didn't come with a holder. This is actually left over from another charger. So if you need something to clip the end in, you'll have to get that off Amazon or somewhere else in order to just stick it on the wall. So for now, I'm just going to use a hook that I have left over from another charger, and we're just going to drape it across the top. Now, nice thing is this one is Tesla certified or NACS, so it will work for NACS equipped vehicles as well. This one has a rubber plug on the end of it, and it does have the little button, which means it'll open the door on the Tesla, so you don't have to go inside the car or fumble with your phone to get that door open. At this point in the review, I'm coming to you about a couple months later. I really wanted to try this out for a couple of months before I finished off the review to give you my honest thoughts on it. Now here's one situation I've come across with this one, because this charger only has a 16-foot cable on it. It is a very flexible cable. I like the materials and everything that it's made of, but it's a little short. 16 feet, I have mentioned in other videos, is just a little short for a cable. So if you're going to be charging your car in the garage, it works fine. I might throw in a little photo here of when I actually turned this car around and I had the charge port over here on the corner, and the cord was just barely long enough to get to the car. So it was just on an angle, it barely reached the car. So if you're going to pick out something like this, just keep in mind that the cord length could be an issue. There's other ones that I've used on the market that have a 24 or 25 foot cable on them, and where the car is parked right now, this cable would actually reach across the garage, go just outside the garage door, and it would be able to charge a car in the driveway, which was very handy when I had people visiting my house and I had to charge another car in the driveway. Now I do have an extension cable, not for this end though, so I would actually have to pull out a different charger in order to charge someone else's car here. So Lectron did send me the one that fits a Tesla port. You can also order one with a J1772 port. I'm going to switch over to a different view and we're going to talk a little bit more about this. So as you saw earlier in this video, it comes in this box when it arrives. So I'm just going to set this down, talk about a couple of the features of it. I've already mentioned that it's IP65 waterproof or water resistant, so it is safe to use in all kinds of weather. Some of my favorite things about this charger is the fact that it is UL listed and CSA listed, and that is the biggest factor for me when it comes to choosing this charger. It does have a couple of downfalls to it, like the fact that it's only a 16-foot cord. There's obviously other options that you can get, so check out the website at Lectron and you'll be able to see what other options there are. Now they sent me one with a Tesla connector on it, and I was pretty excited earlier in the video because it has this button on the top of it, but I'd like to point out the fact that I was actually wrong earlier in the video. With a Tesla charger, this mobile charger or one of the ones wall connector unit, for example, when you press the button on it, it will send a small signal to the car and it will open the charge flap. Now Lectron's unit does not do that. The button on the top of here will send a signal to the car when it's plugged into it to allow you to unlock it from the vehicle, because the lock is on the vehicle side of it. So it sends a signal through one of the wires here, goes down to the computer in the car, and that will allow it to retract the lock so that you can pull the charger out. So don't get your hopes up that this button is going to do what a Tesla charger is. It's not. So that is one of the cons to the unit. It's okay, it's not a big problem. For the price point that they're selling this for and the fact that it's UL listed and CSA listed, I'm super impressed with it. It's very durable. It's fairly compact. It comes down to about this size, so it's easy to throw in your trunk and bring somewhere with you, which means that you'll get full 40 amp charging wherever you go with it. So that is one of the pros of this unit, is that it is a 40 amp charger, it's not a 32 amp charger. If you go for the Tesla mobile connector here, it does have some advantages. It has a slightly smaller cable, but it's only up to 32 amps. So if you need that 40 amp charge for a quicker charge, or you're going to use this as your permanent daily unit, it is something I would highly recommend. I actually use this daily because it is UL listed and CSA listed, and because it has that 40 amp rating. It has been working absolutely perfect for what I'm using it for, but I do park in the garage. So if that cable length is an issue, just keep that in mind. Well, I think that really wraps up what I'm thinking about this charger. What do you think of it? I want to hear your comments. Leave something down below. And if you found this video helpful, maybe give a like to the channel and subscribe, and just pay attention to what we're doing next.